Hey everybody, Edward here again. Thank you for continuing to follow along with these videos. If you've made it this far, you must be a really strong policy junkie, and I appreciate your following through these hopefully instructional videos that I've been providing. I mean, really what I'm looking to do is help the ordinary consumer with understanding their insurance policy. These things are difficult in application. I know some of the things I've talked about have been very technical, but hopefully you found some use to at least some part of each of the videos that I've gone through so far. What I want to focus on today is a fairly straightforward section of your insurance policy, but that's important to what your obligations are after you file a claim. And this is the conditions section of your insurance policy. So we're going to continue along with the same policy that we've been using. And again, here's the citizens policy. We're going to scroll down and this would be the same in any policy that you have at home. You're going to find a section like this. Within section one, it's going to be called conditions. Within the section one conditions of your insurance policy, your insurance company is telling you what additional items you need to know about in the event that you have a loss. There's going to be different things in here that you should draw your attention to, but I would say probably the most important is going to be this duties after loss section. And this is specifically telling you as the homeowner filing the claim what you need to do and make sure that you take care of after a loss occurs. Now, if you fail to do one of these things, there can be different impacts on your claim, and it even goes so far as depending on how your insurance company words the policy. But sometimes, if you really fail to comply with these duties, your entire claim can be jeopardized. So you want to make sure that you're complying with these things. So some common ones you're going to see is giving prompt notice of your insurance claim. So after you know you have a loss, it's your obligation to report it timely to your insurance company. Things like taking reasonable measures to protect the property from further damage after a loss occurs. So if you see some damage ongoing in your property and you don't do anything to prevent it from getting worse, that can jeopardize your insurance claim. You may see other things in here like keeping an accurate record of your repair. That's in the event that your insurance company requests it. They're going to expect that you've complied with this so that you can provide them with notice of how much you've incurred for your loss. Different things like this. You're going to see different concepts like this, but each one of them I would say is equally as important. So if you're going to read, let's say, one section of your insurance policy after you suffer a loss, I would recommend that it's this one so that you know specifically what it is you have to do. Some other parts of your conditions are going to talk about how losses are paid. That can be very technical and go into some different legal components that you may not need to really know about. There's descriptions typically of alternative resolution methods. Let's say you and your insurance company can't agree on the amount of your loss. There will almost always be sections in these policies that tell you what you can do in that event, whether it's attending a mediation or appraising the value of the damage. Some policies will describe what steps you have to follow before a lawsuit can be filed. Some policies will talk about a section where it gives the insurance company the ability to actually do repairs to your property. That's something important. I may touch on that in a future final video. And then some other maybe minor things like, for example, your mortgage company has to be named on checks that are made payable to you for any losses to your property. So this is a rather, let's say, simple and maybe less significant part of the policy as compared to the coverages and the perils, but equally important for you as the homeowner to know about these things so that you make sure you don't make any missteps in the event of a loss. So a lot of times, this is why it's important to hire a professional if you do have a claim, particularly one that's maybe of higher complexity or a greater extent of damage, to make sure you don't run afoul of any of these requirements and jeopardize your claim. And so if you do have a claim, you have a question about what you need to do, or maybe an insurance company sent you a request for information or for compliance, and you don't think you have to do any of those things, and you want a second opinion, again, feel free to reach out to me, particularly if you're a former client, you're looking for some advice. You can reach me 24/7. I'm here to help you.